Imagine living in the middle of a scorching summer.
Yet, you can still keep your food fresh.
It might seem impossible, right?
But the Amish discovered this art centuries ago.
And they continue to use it to this day.
Their methods are not only interesting, but also practical.
They also reflect a simple, economical, and environmentally friendly way of life. In this video, we explore the Amish techniques for keeping food fresh and see how they preserve food safely without electricity or modern technology.
Before we dive deeper, let me share something special with you. If you're fascinated by these historical methods and want to learn more about lost superfoods and preservation techniques, check the link in our description. We offer a book that explores these ancient methods and how they worked, giving you insights into practical historical solutions. One of the most remarkable and fascinating techniques the Amish have relied on for centuries is the ice house. Before electricity and refrigerators even existed, these simple but ingenious buildings helped families keep their food safe and fresh. Imagine cutting large blocks of ice from frozen ponds or lakes during the coldest days of winter, then carefully storing them in thick-walled buildings so that they would last well into the hot summer months. These structures were usually built with thick stone, brick, or wood walls, combined with layers of insulating materials like straw or sawdust, creating a barrier that slowed down melting.
The principle was simple yet brilliant. The more insulation around the ice, the slower it melted. And as the ice melted gradually, it cooled the surrounding air, turning the building into a natural refrigerator.
Families used these cool, dark rooms not just for ice, but also for storing perishables such as meat, milk, cheese, and even fresh vegetables, keeping them safe to eat for months without modern technology.
In the heart of summer, opening an ice house door must have felt like stepping into a completely different world. Cool, refreshing, and life-saving for preserving the family's harvest.
The effectiveness of these ice houses depended heavily on the quality of insulation. Thick walls, tight doors, and proper sealing made the difference between ice lasting a few weeks or surviving the entire summer.
The Amish, being practical and resourceful, perfected the process, using straw, sawdust, or even natural materials like wood shavings to cover the ice in thick, protective layers.
As the ice slowly melted, it maintained a stable, cool environment that could preserve food far longer than one might expect, almost rivaling the refrigerators we use today. Even today, some Amish families continue to use ice houses, proving how reliable and sustainable this method still is in modern times, despite the availability of electricity. Beyond practicality, the ice house represents a philosophy of life, making the most of natural resources, living in harmony with the seasons, and depending on creativity instead of constant technology. For the Amish, the ice house is more than storage. It is a symbol of self-sufficiency, patience, and respect for the wisdom passed down through generations.
While the rest of the world moved on to electric refrigerators, these communities held on to a method that was not only effective, but also environmentally friendly, with zero electricity use and no carbon footprint.
Today, as energy prices rise and environmental concerns grow, many people are looking back to these forgotten methods, realizing that sometimes the old ways still offer the best solutions. The Amish ice house reminds us that simplicity and ingenuity can go hand in hand. By storing winter's gift of ice, they were able to protect summer's harvest, bridging the seasons in a way that feels both timeless and wise. Another fascinating method the Amish use to keep food cool and fresh is the spring house. These small buildings are strategically built in your natural springs, harnessing the cool water to preserve perishables. Imagine walking into a small stone or wooden structure where spring water flows gently through channels, keeping the interior cool even during the hot summer months. Inside, families store milk, cheese, butter, and fresh vegetables. The continuous movement of water helps maintain a naturally low temperature, acting as a refrigerator without any electricity. Inside, families store milk, cheese, butter, and fresh vegetables. The continuous movement of water helps maintain a naturally low temperature, acting as a refrigerator without any electricity.
These spring houses are often made of stone or wood, carefully insulated to ensure the cool water keeps everything at a stable temperature for days or weeks.
By using the natural properties of flowing water, the Amish create a sustainable system that keeps food safe and fresh, demonstrating a harmony with nature rarely seen in modern technology.
Spring houses are usually located near the main kitchen, making it easy to access fresh ingredients for cooking while maintaining their cool storage.
The principle is simple yet effective. Cold water absorbs heat from the food, maintaining a temperature just low enough to prevent spoilage without freezing anything.
Amish families still rely on these methods today, proving that traditional techniques can be just as reliable and environmentally friendly as modern appliances.
Flowing water provides a constant cooling effect, reducing bacteria growth and keeping food fresh longer than one might expect.
The spring house system embodies the Amish philosophy: self-sufficiency, patience, and respect for natural resources, while minimizing reliance on modern technology.
In essence, the spring house demonstrates how simple methods, when understood and applied carefully, can achieve remarkable results in food preservation and sustainability.
Natural cooling, combined with careful planning and traditional techniques, allows the Amish to maintain a steady supply of safe, fresh food year-round without electricity.
These methods are not only practical, but also showcase the ingenuity and wisdom passed down through generations of Amish families. Observing a spring house at sunset, one can appreciate the harmony between human craftsmanship and nature, reflecting a philosophy that values sustainability and community.
By learning from these age-old techniques, we can see how simplicity, patience, and respect for nature can provide effective solutions even in our modern world.
Another essential technique Amish families have relied on for preserving food is drying and canning. These methods allowed them to store fruits, vegetables, and even meats safely for months without refrigeration. Imagine baskets of freshly harvested fruits and vegetables being carefully cleaned, sliced, and arranged on racks or hanging lines to dry in the warm summer sun or in special ventilated sheds.
Drying removes moisture from the food, preventing bacteria and mold from growing. This simple process turns seasonal produce into shelf-stable staples that can be used throughout the year. Canning, on the other hand, involves sealing food in glass jars after heating to destroy harmful bacteria. This method preserves flavor, nutrition, and safety, allowing families to enjoy summer and fall harvests all year long. From tomatoes to beans, peaches to berries, every jar is labeled and stacked carefully in cool, dark storage areas, ensuring that nothing spoils before it is needed.
These techniques are not only practical, but also resourceful, showing how the Amish make the most of seasonal abundance while minimizing waste.
Sun-drying fruits and vegetables is a time-honored tradition. The warm sun, dry air, and gentle breeze all work together to naturally preserve nutrients and flavor. Canning requires careful attention. Sterilized jars, boiling water baths, and airtight seals ensure the food remains safe and edible for months, a technique perfected over generations. Families often involve children in these activities, teaching the next generation the importance of self-sufficiency, patience, and careful planning for food security. Over time, these preserved foods become an essential part of daily meals, providing nutrition and taste even when fresh produce is no longer available. Beyond practicality, drying and canning reflect a philosophy of life. Using resources wisely, respecting the seasons, and relying on skills and creativity instead of constant reliance on modern technology.
Even today, many Amish families continue these traditions, proving that sometimes the simplest methods are also the most effective, safe, and sustainable. These methods not only protect food, but also create a sense of rhythm and ritual, connecting families to the land, the seasons, and each other.
For anyone interested in sustainability and self-sufficiency, these age-old techniques are a reminder that modern conveniences aren't always necessary to ensure a stable food supply. As the sun sets over the farm, the sight of drying racks, neatly stacked jars, and carefully stored produce is a testament to Amish ingenuity. Simple, reliable, and remarkably effective methods that have stood the test of time.
As we look back at the ingenious ways the Amish preserve their food, whether in root cellars, ice houses, or spring houses, we see a blend of simplicity, patience, and sustainability. Drying fruits, canning vegetables, and storing perishables with care have been passed down for generations, ensuring that every family thrives throughout the year. These methods remind us that creativity and resourcefulness can replace reliance on modern technology, proving that old ways can still meet today's needs. Whether it's cutting ice, layering sawdust, or sun-drying produce, each technique reflects a deep understanding of nature and seasons. The wisdom behind these practices emphasizes self-sufficiency, careful planning, and sustainability, principles that can inspire all of us in modern life. By observing these traditions, we gain not only practical knowledge about food preservation, but also a perspective on living harmoniously with nature. If you've enjoyed this exploration of historical food preservation and want to learn more about frugal solutions and timeless techniques, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for joining this journey through Amish ingenuity, where tradition, simplicity, and sustainability combine to offer lessons that remain relevant today.